there, my name is Alexandra with the Bucket List Mermaid, and it is my goal to help you conquer everything on your travel bucket list. Today we are going to be doing a massive ride guide for Universal Studios Florida. This is one of the 3 parks in Universal's in Florida, and I'm going to be going through in-depth details between this video and my blog about what needs to be added to your bucket list, which rides are worth it, just to try to help you figure out how to navigate Universal Studios. I really hope you enjoy this video. Let's get started. And here we are at Universal Studios Florida. This is going to be kind of a long one because I'm going to be going through every single ride and major show here at this park. This is kind of going to give you an overview of what everything looks like. If you want those nitty-gritty details, I would definitely go check out the blog post as well as this video. We are here at Universal Studios, and the first ride I'm going to go on is the Hollywood Rocket. I've never actually ridden this ride before because every single time it's been closed due to weather. So I feel like if you're gonna do this one, do it early in the morning when there is 0 chance of rain. And let's go. So you do have to get a locker. That's new, so you can't store your ride, so there's nothing on there. So I'm gonna go get a locker. It's pretty easy. Although there are a lot of quote-unquote thrill rides in this park, I would argue that this is probably the most classical, traditional roller coaster in Universal Studios. It actually goes straight up and then almost straight down. You're actually 17 stories over Universal, and then you go down at a whopping 65 miles per hour. You can use your express pass. There is a child swap as well as a single rider line, which can really help cut down your lines. It was really fun. It was a roller coaster. There was a couple twists and turns, but definitely the best part about it was the straight up and the straight down. It was definitely super cool. And what makes this one unique, which I really, really liked, is that you can choose your own music. So you can choose the genre and then you can choose the song that you wanted to listen to. I decided to go for some gnarly dubstep, Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites by Skrillex. And that was a real vibe. I can't really imagine doing that with a country song, but you know what? If you have done that, please comment below and tell me how it was, because that was crazy. It was definitely not like the scariest roller coaster I have ever been on, but it was a real good time. I would rate it a bucket list review of, I'm gonna say like a 6. It was pretty good, maybe a 7. I'm gonna change it to a 7. I liked it. It was good. So another thing about this roller coaster ride, I got here right at the start. I know that it shuts down very easily due to weather because it's outside. So definitely I would go here first. And I only had to wait about 10 minutes in the normal line, not even the singles line, but it's still, I can see it backing up, and you have to get lockers, definitely. So yeah, I would probably do this one first and then go throughout your day in the park. I'm on a new mission, find sunscreen. I'm so pale, but I'm about to be red. Mission accomplished, oh wow. It is so hot here. I don't know about where all you guys are from, but I'm from Colorado, and it is rainy and cold and dry, so make sure to stay hydrated and pay like $20 million for the water. Anticipate that. 45 minutes! Okay, I'm gonna bite the bullet and just do this Minions ride. It's like crazy that this is the longest line. Why? There is no single rider line, but you can use your express pass and a child swap, and it is good for people who get motion sickness or wheelchairs because they have a non-moving option. Okay, I just got out of the Minions ride. It was cute. It was really cute. I think it was kind of the same kind of thing where you sit in a car and then they have the TV in the background, so it kind of feels like you're there. I have to say it did kind of feel like a glorified movie. Versus an immersive experience like the other ones that I've ridden today. Like for example, I think the Transformers one and the Simpsons one was a little bit more immersive than that one because I think it was on all sides. So if you're looking for that immersive experience, I would go with those ones. But I did think it was cute. If you like the Minions, I mean the Minions are super cute, so it is worth a ride. I probably wouldn't. I waited 25 minutes and that seemed like about what I would do for the Minions ride. But overall, pretty good. I'm here at Jimmy Fallon. I've never done this ride before, so I have no clue what it is. Let's do it. This is another immersive ride at Universal Studios, and it is really cute. Also, another thing that I do like about this one is that you can stay in your wheelchair and there is closed captioning, so it really broadens its audience and just provides a really cute way to see New York with Jimmy Fallon. Also, the line itself is actually pretty cool. It kind of feels like you're going through NBC Studios, so it always makes a difference when you have something to look at while you wait. I just finished going on the Jimmy Fallon ride through New York, even though we went to the moon too, so it wasn't really New York. I feel kind of lied to, just a tiny bit. But no, it was good. It was a very standard ride for this park. Yeah, I give it a good solid like 5 out of 10. To add to your bucket list, I think if you missed it, don't be super sad about it because it wasn't like jaw-dropping, but you know, worth a good ride. If there's a 15-minute wait and you're bored and looking for something to do, go ride through New York in a weird, unrealistic way with Jimmy Fallon. So I'm heading to the Mummy ride right now, and I'm sorry, I loved this movie growing up. It was one of my favorite movies. It's kind of like my first scary movie, and the ride, I don't know if it's nostalgia, because it's a roller coaster, but it's not a super scary, like it doesn't go upside down or anything, but I just love it. Like, I think it might be my favorite ride in this park, but we will see after I go on it again and see if it holds up to my memory. Let's go find some mummies. So they do make you do lockers for this one. I haven't had to do that before, but they let me keep my phone, so that's cool. One of the things that I think Universal in general does very, very well is the lines. As I kind of mentioned before, waiting sucks for any theme park ride, but if you can do it in an amazing location, yes, it just makes it so much better. And this ride, oh my gosh, is one of my favorites. It looks very light on this video, but my phone picks up the light, but it is dark, it is spooky, and it's so cool. This line area where you wait for this mummy ride is so cool. It feels like you're in an Egyptian dig site or something, and like there's creepy, eerie music playing, and it's so cool and it's so eerie. I love it. You can use your express pass, and there is a child swap. There is a single rider line, but you do miss part of the line, which is kind of fun, so unless you're pressed for time, I would just wait in the normal line. Fun fact, there are Egyptian hieroglyphics all over the walls. These are actually real Egyptian warnings. So I love this, you can scare people. And you can play some pranks on other people in the line, but just make sure anything you do can also be done to you, so just be warned. Also, keep an eye out for a tall fake prop door at the entrance of the ride. This was actually used in the Mummy movie, so it's just kind of fun to see if you're a fan of the movie, which I am. Another thing to note is that this roller coaster, although it is a roller coaster, it is pretty tame, which makes it very, very good for little kids who maybe want to start introducing themselves to roller coasters. I think this was my first roller coaster, and I literally wanted to ride it over and over and over again, and probably your kid will too, if they are brave. It does have a very strong story component, but there are definitely some moments where it does go pretty fast, and it does feel like a roller coaster. I just got off the Mummy. Oh my gosh, it's just it's an oldie but goodie, you know? Like, it's not the scariest thing on the planet. The line is super fun to wait in. Kind of like go through this area, it's kind of like a story, but I mean, it goes backwards and forwards, and I thought it was really fun, and it's just kind of nostalgic, and yeah, it's a little bit older, but oh, I just love it. It's great. I'd probably say like an 8 out of 10 for my bucket list rating. Definitely give it a go if you're at Universal. I am now gonna go on the Transformers ride. I have no clue what it is, I will let you know. Right now it's a 20-minute wait, so not bad, but it's really nice vibe. I can spend money on a lanyard. I don't care. If you are looking for a high-intensity immersion ride that really gets your heart rate up, this is definitely the ride for you. You are basically riding on a Transformer called Evac, which was specifically made for this ride in order to protect the Allspark from the Decepticons. There are a grand total of 16 other Transformers that will cross your path. There are 34 custom screens, and they are 80 feet tall in this ride. It is very impressive. Transformers. Oh my gosh. So first of all, I think it was good. It was pretty much worth the wait. I'd probably wait like, I feel like a half hour to 40 minutes for it. Maybe more if you just like love Transformers. I'm pretty sure that I sat next to a little girl who's gonna have nightmares tonight, and then I sat next to a little boy whose like life began today. Very action-packed. It's just a lot of action and a lot of robots. So yeah, love it. I will give it maybe a 5. No, I will give it a 6. Oh my gosh, look, there's a robot here. Ooh. I'm not a Transformers fan, but that's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Now we're gonna do Fast and Furious. I'm gonna be honest, I have never seen these movies. So it's a little awkward. But you know what? It's okay. We're just gonna go ahead and do it anyway. And those of you who have seen these movies can put in the comments what it's about. I'm guessing it's about cars from all of the decor around. So in this ride, you are in a party bus and you join all of these familiar characters from the Fast and Furious movies. There's a party, and then you basically go on a highway and all hell breaks loose, and there's just a lot of action and a lot of car chases. It's just overall pretty intense. If you are bored in the line and you have the Universal app, there is this thing called the Supercharged Network, and you can take all these trivia things to figure out how you're most like a certain person, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I actually hadn't noticed that on any other ride except this one, so this one's very unique in that sense. Also, keep an eye out on all of the cars within the queue of this line because they were all used in the movie, which is kind of cool if you're a fan. And also, please note that this entire attraction is based off of the events of Fast and Furious 6. I just got hit with an absolute wave of air conditioning. Whew. I bet it is hot outside. I mean, it is hot outside, but it's like the tundra in here. It's great. Also, didn't they make like 17 million of these movies? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Keep in mind that although this isn't a full-blown roller coaster, there are some adult themes, so just be careful if you have a little one joining you. I can honestly say that I still have zero idea what that movie is about or what happened in that ride. It was very action-packed, very car chasey. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just rode down a street and blew some stuff up. It was not my favorite. I'm gonna give it like a 3 out of 10. That's being kind of nice. But it's fine. There are other amazing rides that you can do. It's just a little silly. Now moving on to the gems of this park, which is Harry Potter, and I'm a huge fan. Sorry. Anyway, starting off, we're going to talk about the Hogwarts Express, which is kind of a ride, but it's also mainly transportation to the other park. You do need a park-to-park ticket, and obviously there's no child swap or anything because you're just going to the other park. Also, keep in mind that this goes both directions, and in each direction, it's an entirely different experience going from London to Hogsmeade, and then from Hogsmeade to London King's Cross. I talk a little bit more about this in my Islands of Adventure Hogsmeade video. What I would definitely warn you with is to make sure that you know each closing time for each park. For example, I was in a situation where I was going from Universal Studios to Islands of Adventure, and one of them was kind of open a little later, but by the time I would have gotten there with the wait, everything would have been closed, so it was faster just to walk around. So just making sure to time everything correctly. I would give this an 8 out of 10 because it really does feel like you are on Hogwarts Express. And once you are at London King's Cross, you are right around the corner from Diagon Alley, and oh my gosh, I am gonna have to make an entire separate video about Diagon Alley because let me tell you, it is so cool. I'm just gonna stick to the rides for now, but as I said, I think I'm gonna make an entire video on this section because it is worth the entire park admission to go to Diagon Alley. Here we are at Diagon Alley at Universal Studios, and I'm about to go on the main Gringotts Escape from Gringotts ride. Right now it's only 25 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump on that. I think you do need to get lockers for this one, and I think it is kind of an immersive story ride, so I will report back, but Diagon Alley is absolutely insane. It feels like you are there, and I'm gonna treat myself to a butterbeer afterwards, so let's go. Reiterating my point that Universal knows how to do lines, and this Gringotts line does not disappoint. It is massive, and it is exactly how I would expect being in Gringotts to be. Oh my gosh. So this ride goes through Gringotts. Obviously it's Escape from Gringotts, but just look at this atrium. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. This bunch of goblins. Gotta go make a withdrawal. So I do apologize if this section is a little bit more than the other rides, but you just need to see the attention to detail in this line and just the extravagance and just overload of senses that is Gringotts. The only other line in these parks that I think competes with it is in Islands of Adventure in Hogsmeade, where you get to go through Hogwarts itself. There is an express pass and you can do a child swap, but there is a single rider line, which is okay, but I'm gonna be honest, you miss the majority of the line, which in these rides, it is kind of part of the fun is just waiting in these crazy lines. There was a certain situation that I saw happening that I do have to comment on and you do have to be aware of, but the lockers are only free for 25 minutes and it's great on normal rides, but this ride is very popular and you're probably not going to be out of it in 25 minutes. So a lot of people were getting very upset that they were coming back and now having to pay, and they didn't think they were going to have to pay, so just keep that in mind. So the whole premise is that you're opening up a bank account with Gringotts, and then there's a photo op right here where you can take a photo, and I just think that's super cool. So it's like your identification, your wizard identification, so that's kind of cute. What I did like about this ride is it was a very nice combination between a slight thrill ride and that nice immersion with technology and 3D. So it was just a good all-around ride that made you feel like you were in Gringotts and escaping from Gringotts and running from Voldemort and Bellatrix and going down elevators. And so yes, it was very, very cool and a very nice balance of ride components, in my opinion. If you can, try to get the front on the very first car. Okay, I am almost at the start of the line in this cave thing, so wish me luck. This is definitely one of the highlights of Universal Studios. 8 out of 10, maybe even more if you count the line. Don't miss it. I met up with my favorite person! And we are going to go shoot some aliens in Men in Black. This is a alien shooting, and just for some tips and tricks, you can actually hold down your finger for a continual zapping mode, and different aliens have different scoring, so harder to spot or disguised aliens are worth more points, and you can zap them multiple times, and it gives you a score at the end. There she is, Galactical Defender. I am here at the Simpsons ride. We're gonna see what it's saying. This is an immersive experience that has to do with The Simpsons, and although it's a little bit outdated, it's still pretty cute and action-packed. What I really enjoyed about this one was all of the satirical jabs at Universal. Like, oh yeah, the ride can't be over because we're not in the gift shop. So after Gringotts, this line is very underwhelming. Can't really imagine sitting here for more than a half hour, especially in the Florida heat. But yeah, there's definitely rides with better lines, but you know what, maybe it'll be worth it, and let's go. It's definitely cuter and more air conditioned in here, but pretty cute. The line moves really fast. You can use your express pass, there is not a single rider, and you can child swap on this one. So I just finished the Simpsons ride. It was cute, you know, it's maybe a little bit outdated, but I feel like it's still fun. It was a little teeny tiny chaotic, if you know what I mean. Like, it was just a lot going on. It was one of those rides where you kind of sit down and then there's a theater, but it kind of feels like you're there. So that is super fun. I probably wouldn't wait more than like a half hour for it. I don't know if it's worth it for that, but when I went, it was like 15 minutes, so I just kind of walked on, and I had fun. It was good. I give it probably like a 5 on the bucket list scale. So on to the next ride, let's go. Also, I have heard that they sell Duff beer if you are a Simpsons fan. I personally don't like beer, so I'm not gonna spend money on it, but I've heard that it's really, really good. What is this ride called? I'm so confused. I've never been on this ride, nor did I even know that this ride existed, but I said that I would ride every single ride at Universal, and I'm about to pull over. But here we go. This ride is your typical spinny kids ride. Like in my theme park, it was a spider. But it's basically you can control how high or low you go. And this is a really good option for maybe some littler travelers that want a tame thrill. And you go about 13 miles per hour. That was not my type of ride. This green one right here, which I still have no idea what it's called. But you know what? It is a ride for somebody. You know, if you have children or if you just kind of like want a nice ride, it's super mellow, it's super chill. Yeah, nothing super remarkable about that one. I'm giving it like a 3. I honestly didn't even know it existed until like 20 minutes ago. I'm going now to the E.T. adventure. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't like E.T. Sorry. So we'll see how this ride goes. I don't think I've ever been on it. Like the movie, this ride feels like it's been around forever, but it still is super cute going through the forest into E.T.'s planet. They does personally thank you by name at the end, which I was not prepared for, but cute touch. I've entered this wooded area. I don't know how I feel about this. They gave me a card and asked me my name for, I really don't know why. I just got off of E.T. It was not as painful as I thought that it was going to be. It was very mild. There was only a 10-minute wait, and it was kind of relaxing. It was like you were on bicycles, like flying through the forest, trying to help E.T. Escape. Once you went to his planet, it kind of felt a little bit like a dream, like you know those dreams that you have when you like eat right before bed or you're sick, like a fever dream, and they're just weird and you wake up and think, what? That was kind of what it was like once we got to his planet. But I feel like it was generally pretty cool, and I wouldn't say I would wait a long time for it. Maybe if you like see that 10-minute mark, just like go give it a go. It probably is pretty good for children or anybody who prefers just like kind of a mellow ride or just loves E.T. I got E.T. home. I did that. So that is all of the rides at Universal Studios. I'm now going to quick touch on the major shows, which there were 3 that I found that there were specific times and you had to wait in line. However, I have to say that there are a ton of tiny little shows that are constantly going on throughout the park. For example, in Diagon Alley, this is the Banshee show. I found like a hip-hop show and there was other ones going on, so I think it's really important to have the Universal app so that you can constantly be aware of what is going on around you, because there is a lot. I have 1 minute. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I made it. This is an animal show that shows you how animals are trained for movies and kind of how they can audition. I'm not 100% supportive of using animals in shows, so be aware of that, but they were very, very trained and super, super cute. 6 out of 10. That was such a cute little animal show. There was a lot of audience interaction with that. Lots of open seating, and it was kind of a nice break to kind of just sit down for a little bit. There were so many animals and they were so, so cute. Hey, I'm gonna go see this horror makeup show because I just happened to be here at that exact time, so I'm excited to learn how to do some makeup. And the second major show at Universal Studios is the horror makeup show. And don't worry, although it was a little grotesque, it was not terrible, and they did it in a very funny way to kind of lighten the mood. What I really liked about it is that they focused on all of the old horror movies and some new ones, but yeah, it was fun to see like the old like Frankensteins and the old mummies and how they accomplished that. So it was pretty fun, pretty informative, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I just finished the horror makeup show and honestly it was so funny. Like, I mean, they talked about makeup a lot, but it was more just like funny. Like, it was just hilarious, and the performers were so good. So yes, definitely recommend going and seeing that if you are in Universal. It was super cute and kind of informative too, you know, like learn some stuff about old classic monsters. So that was super cool. I'm now headed to the Bourne Spectacular. I have no clue what this is. Like, absolutely no idea. I don't know if it's a show. I don't know if it's a ride. I'm not quite sure. This is one of those rare instances where I really cannot describe what this is. You just need to do it. If you are in Universal Studios, please do this. What did I just watch? Listen, okay, so I did this Bourne Stuntacular thing, and I have never, ever seen a show like that. It was like there was a movie screen, but then like also props and actors. It was like a show and a movie at the same time, and it was so action-packed, and it was... I'm so surprised. That was such a shock. I literally, like, they opened the first scene and it literally looked like I was there. Do that. Oh my gosh, it looks so unassuming, and you're like, okay, what is that? They do it. That was crazy. Even if you don't like the Bourne movies, that was just crazy just for the technology and the stunt work that went into that show. That was insane, like actually insane. Oh my gosh. The plot twist of the day. Jason Bourne. And with that, I am now going to need a nap, because that is every single ride and major show at Universal Studios. If you are still bored, there's also a ton of character sightings and people that you can see. Basically, there is a lot of things to check off your bucket list in this area, and I really, really hope that this guide helps. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me all the way to the end. I really, really hope that this provided you with all the information that you needed to, and with which rides at Universal Studios Florida should be added to your bucket list. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe so that I can keep bringing you mermaid bucket list content, and we will see you next time.